So today let us talk about polynomials, right? So we have studied what are linear expressions, right? For example, if I give you 2x plus 3, then this is a linear expression. And if I give you say x square minus 5x plus 6, then this is a quadratic expression. This is a quadratic expression because the degree is 2, right? The degree of this expression, it is 2. Fine. So let us try to understand what is a degree of a term first of all, then we'll come to what is degree of an expression. So degree of a term, is nothing but sum of powers of all the variables in a term is called the degree of that term. So sum of powers of all the variables is called the degree of that term. For example, if I give you x square, then the degree of this term is 2, right? Degree is equals to 2. If I give you say x square y, then the degree is 3. Degree is 3 here because the sum of powers of all the variables, that is the degree of this term. So the power of x is 2, the power of y is 1, and if you add you'll get 3. So the degree of this term is 3. Say if I give you minus 24 x cube y, right? So then the degree of this is 4. Degree of this term is 4 because the sum of powers of all the variables is 3 plus 1, that is 4. So the degree of this term is 4. Similarly, say if I give you x square y cube z power 4, then the degree of this term is how much? Degree of this term is 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 9, right? So degree of this term is 9. So if I give you minus 36 into x power 10, y power 2, w power 3 and z power 4, then what is the degree of this term? Degree is nothing but sum of powers of all the variables. So 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, you'll get 19. So degree is 19. And what is this minus 36 called? This minus 36 is the coefficient. Minus 36 is the coefficient of the term x power 10 y squared w cube z power 4, right? So minus 36 is nothing but the coefficient of this term. Similarly, here the coefficient is 1. Here the coefficient of this term is minus 24. Here also the coefficient is 1, right? So now you know what is the degree of a term. Now let us understand what is the degree of an expression. What is the degree of an expression? So degree of an expression is nothing but the term which has the highest degree, right? Or let me write it in this way, it is nothing but the degree of the highest degree of any term in the expression. The highest degree of any term in the expression is the degree of that expression, So first of all, what is an expression? Expression is nothing but a combination of terms, right? It is nothing but a combination of 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms, right? By using some signs plus, minus, right? That is an expression. For example, if I take one term as x square y, say 3x y square, and say x cube z, right? So these are 3 terms, right? So if I just put a plus sign between these 3 terms, then this entire thing is called an expression. This is called an expression. So what is the degree of this term? Degree of this term is 2 plus 1, that is 3. Degree of this term is 1 plus 2, that is also 3. And degree of this term is 4, right? So what is the highest degree of any term in this expression? That is 4, right? So degree of this expression is 4. Degree of this expression is 4 because 4 is the highest degree of any term in this expression. So degree of this expression is 4. So let us take one more example. Say if I take 15x square minus 3x square y square plus say 27x z power 4 minus z power 5. So tell me, what is the degree of this term? It is 5, because see, the degree of this term is 2, degree of this term is 4, degree of this term is 5, and degree of this term is also 5. So what is the maximum degree of any term? That is 5 is the maximum degree, right? 5 is the highest degree. So then degree of this expression is 5. Degree of this expression is 5, right? So I think now, what is degree of a term, what is an expression, and what is the degree of an expression, these things are clear, right? So let us move forward. So now, since we are clear with these things, so also let us try to understand what are like and unlike terms. So I think you have already studied in school, but still, yeah. So say x square y, 3x square y, and say 5x square y, these are like terms, these are like terms, right? These are like terms because then you can add this, right? If you add 3x square y, 5x square y, you can write it as 8x square y, right? If there are like terms, then you can add or subtract them. But say if I take an example of unlike terms, say for example 3x square y and say 5xy square, these are unlike terms, these are unlike terms, right? Because x square y and xy square, these are completely unlike terms, right? So like terms means what? The variables should be same and the power of each corresponding variable also should be same. So here the variables are x and y, and the power of x is 2 here and the power of x is 2, power of y is 1, power of y is 1. So these two terms are like terms. And here you can see that the variables are x and y, but the corresponding powers of x and y, that are 2 and 1, they are different, not equal, right? So then these are unlike terms. So unlike terms you can't add, right? I can't add 3x square y and 5xy square. Even if I give a plus symbol here, then this is just you need to leave it as it is. You can't add this and you can write something, right? That is not possible. But like terms, you can add them or you can subtract them, you can do anything, right? So like terms are what? The variables are same and the corresponding power of each and every variable is same, right? For example, if I talked about say 15x square y and 3x square y and minus 39x square y and say 72x square y, these are all like terms, these are all like terms, because see, in each term the variables are x and y and the power of corresponding variables are equal, that is the power of x is 2 and the power of y is 1. So all these terms are called like terms. So now we already have an idea of what are like and unlike terms. We also know what is degree of a term and degree of an expression. So now let us define what is a polynomial. Now let us define what is a polynomial. So let us define what is a polynomial. So polynomial is an expression. Polynomial is an expression of the type. So I'm writing the standard polynomial, right? And other types of polynomials, we'll see them in examples. But generally, I mean, the standard polynomial is an expression of the type an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x power n minus 2 plus so on, plus a1x plus a0, right? A polynomial is an expression of the type an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus so on, plus a1x plus a0, right? And let me also mention that polynomial of degree n, or let us write it separately, that here a0 is not equal to 0, first condition. First condition is that an is not equal to 0, not a0, an is not equal to 0, right? And second condition is that n is a natural number, n is a natural number. Or yeah, I think you can also take n as whole number, it is fine. So n is whole number, right? So n is not a fraction or something or a negative integer, it is a whole number only. And an is the not equal to 0, right? An should not be 0, rest anything can be 0. So here degree of this polynomial is n. Degree of this polynomial equal to n, right? Because see, degree of this term is a naught. This is a constant term, so you can write it as a naught x power 0. So degree of this term is 0. Degree of this term is x power 1, so it is 1, and so on. Degree of this term is n minus 1. Degree of this term is n. So what is the highest degree of any term? It is n. So the degree of polynomial is n. That's why I have written that an is not equal to 0, right? If an is 0, then degree of this will not be n, right? That's why I have to mention that an is not equal to 0 if I have to say that degree of this polynomial is n, right? So then this condition must be true, because if an itself is 0, then how can I say that this is an nth degree polynomial, right? So this is a general standard polynomial, and it is a polynomial in only one variable, that is x, right? It is a polynomial in only one variable x. It is a polynomial in only one variable x. Fine. So let us say let us try to see some special cases. So if degree is 1, then it is a linear polynomial, right? If degree is equals to 1, then polynomial is said to be a linear polynomial. A linear polynomial, right? And if degree is 2, then you can call this polynomial as a quadratic polynomial, right? And if degree is 3, then you can call the polynomial as a cubic polynomial, and if degree is 4, then you can call it as a biquadratic. Or there is one more name for this, that is quartic polynomial. Right? So these are some classifications based on degree of the polynomial. And if degree is like say more than 4, for example degree is 10, then we just call it as a polynomial of degree 10, right? Say if degree is equals to 10, then we just say a polynomial of degree 10, right? So there are no special names, right? But if degree is 2, if degree is 3, degree is 4, then you should remember the names of these polynomials, right? So if it is given in the question that it is a cubic polynomial, it means that degree is 3, right? So now let us try to see what is a constant polynomial. Right? Constant polynomial means what? It is nothing but it has only one term that is constant, right? For example 2, f of x is equals to 2. This is a polynomial which is f of x is equals to 2. So this is a constant polynomial. Right? So that is, if you take any x value, you will get only 2 for any x. So that's why it is a constant for any x. So it is a constant polynomial. Degree of constant polynomial is what? 0, right? We have discussed it earlier. You can write it as 2x power 0. So degree is 0, right? Now what is zero polynomial? So see, if the constant is 0 in constant polynomial, then it is called zero polynomial. That is, f of x is equals to 0. F of x is equals to 0 is called a zero polynomial. So degree of this polynomial is actually not defined. Right? So I mean, f of x, you don't get confused with what is f of x. F of x is just a name given to a polynomial, right? Because this entire polynomial is in x, right? So I have just given the name to the polynomial as f of x. So let us give this name here itself. That polynomial is an expression of the type this, and let us give it a name f of x, because the only variable involved is x, right? So If the degree of polynomial is 1, then it is linear. If degree is 2, it is quadratic. If degree is 3, it is cubic. And if degree is 4, it is called biquadratic or quartic polynomial, right? And we have also understood what is a constant polynomial, right? Its degree is 0. And if f of x is equals to 0, that is for any x value the polynomial is 0. So it is called a 0 polynomial, and degree of this 0 polynomial is not defined, right? So if I ask you what is degree of a term 2, it is nothing but 0, right? Degree of this term is 0 because it is 2x power 0, but degree of 0 is not defined, right? So degree of 0 polynomial is not defined. So let us try to see some other classifications of polynomials. And one more thing which I forgot is this an here, right? This an, what is the highest degree term in this polynomial? That is x power n. X power n is the highest term. So this an minus 1, an minus 2, a1, a0, so on, these are called coefficients. These are called coefficients, right? So let us mention this thing. In f of x is equals to an x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x power n minus 2 and so on, a1x plus a0. So this a1, an minus 1, an minus 2, so on, a1 comma a0 are called coefficients. Are coefficients. Coefficients of what means? See, if I take coefficient of x square, then this is nothing but a2, right? Because before this term you will have a2x square. So if I ask you what is coefficient of x, then this is nothing but a1, right? If I ask you what is coefficient of x power n minus 1, then this is a n minus 1, right? You can see that the coefficient of x power n minus 1 is a n minus 1. Okay, I have just made a mistake here. This is, yeah, this is a n minus 1 x power n minus 1 and this is a n x power n, right? So the coefficient of x power n minus 1 is a n minus 1. The coefficient of x power n is a n, and so on, right? So these are called the coefficients, and this a n is called the leading coefficient. A n is called the leading coefficient of the polynomial. Leading coefficient of the polynomial. So this is very important point, that the a n, that is the coefficient of the highest degree term in the polynomial, is called the leading coefficient of the polynomial, right? So this a n is called the leading coefficient of the polynomial, and if a n is equals to 1, that is the leading coefficient is equals to 1, if the leading coefficient is equals to 1, then polynomial is called the monic polynomial. Polynomial is called the monic polynomial. Monic polynomial, right? So this word monic, this has nothing to do with the degree of the polynomial. This just indicates that the leading coefficient of the polynomial is equal to 1, and so the monic polynomial just indicates that the degree of the coefficient of the highest degree term, that is the leading coefficient of the polynomial, is 1, right? So you can have a monic polynomial which is cubic. You can have a monic polynomial of degree 4, that is biquadratic or quartic monic polynomial. Fine. So monic polynomial means the leading coefficient is 1. Also, see, let us try to understand some sort of classification of polynomials. Let us try to classify these polynomials on 3 bases, 3 factors. First one is the degree, which we have already dealt, right? We know what is the degree and what are other things. Next is on number of variables, and next let us also classify it on the number of terms, So degree means, you know, highest degree term is nothing but degree of polynomial, For example, x cube plus 3x plus 1, this is a polynomial of degree 3, right? And if I take x square y minus 5x cube 5x square y square, then this is a polynomial of degree 4, right? Because you see the highest degree term is 4th degree, right? X square y square. So this is also a polynomial of degree 4, but you see this polynomial has 2 variables, x and y. So that is what we are going to see, number of variables. So if there are only one variable involved in polynomial. Say if f of x is equals to x power 5 minus 3x plus 1, then this is a polynomial in one variable that is x, right? Say if I have f of x comma y comma z as x square yz minus 5z cube plus 3x square, then this is a polynomial in three variables. X, y and z. This is a polynomial in three variables x, y and z. And number of terms, say if I give you 2x square plus 3x, then there are two terms, right? So if there are two terms, this is called a binomial. Binomial means there are two terms. Even if I take x square y plus 3x square, still it is a binomial, because there are two terms only. X square y is one term and 3x square is another term. So this is still a binomial, right? If I have one term, then it is called a monomial. Then this is called a monomial. For example, just say 5x cube y. This is only one term, so this is a monomial. If I have three terms, it is called a trinomial, right? Three terms is called a trinomial. So and so on. I mean, you can then tell a polynomial with 7 terms, 8 terms. There are no special names for that. So I mean, this is not so important. The utmost important to us will be degree. What we will be interested in knowing what is the degree of a polynomial, and to some extent we'll also be interested with what are the variables involved in a polynomial, right? But with the number of terms involved, that will least bother about. Fine. So I think this is clear. Now let us just do some examples on this. So the question is that write degree comma leading coefficient comma number of terms comma number of variables, right, in the following polynomials. Fine. So the first one is, say, 3x cube minus 5x square plus 2y. Next, let us give 3x square y square minus 5xz plus 1. Next, let us take 7y cube z minus 3z square plus 1. Next, let us take z power 4 minus 3z square plus 1. Say we have x power 9 minus 5x cube y power 5 and z square plus 23, right? So these are 5 examples. So you can pause the video and you can try this, right? You need to write the degree, you need to write the leading coefficient, the number of terms, number of variables in the following polynomials. So let us start with this first one. So this is degree, this is leading coefficient, right? And then this is number of variables, and this is number of terms. Fine. So what is the degree of this polynomial? This is 3, right? Because the highest is 3 here, this is 2, this is 1. So degree is 3 here. Leading coefficient means what? It is nothing but the degree, the coefficient of the highest degree term, that is 3 here. And number of variables are 2, x and y. Number of terms, there are 3 terms, 1, 2 and 3. And here again the degree is 4, the leading coefficient is 3. Fine. Number of variables are 3, that is x, y and z. Number of terms are also 3, right? 1, 2 and 3 terms. See, I mean, the leading coefficient concept will be valid to polynomials in one variables only most of the times, but fine, I mean, you can tell that the leading coefficient is 3, but generally, I mean, whenever we speak about leading coefficient, generally it will be a polynomial of only one variable, right? So that is entirely in x or entirely in y, and that way, right? So here, what is the degree? It is 4, the leading coefficient is 7, and number of variables are 2, y and z. Number of terms are 3. Degree is 4 here, the leading coefficient is 1, right? So this is a monic polynomial. This is a monic polynomial because leading coefficient is 1. Number of variables are 1 only, that is z, and number of terms are 3. So, and here the degree is 3 plus 5, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. Leading coefficient, you can tell that this is minus 5, right? And number of variables x, y and z, so it is 3, and number of terms are 3. Fine. So generally, I mean, I have written here although that the leading coefficient is minus 5 and so on, but see, generally we will be speaking about leading coefficient when the polynomial is only in one variable. Why? Because see, if I give you a polynomial, say x square y plus 2y cube, see, then the degree of this polynomial is 3 only. But then what will you say about the leading coefficient? Will you tell this as leading coefficient or this as leading coefficient? Right. So now there is a confusion, right? So the thing is that leading coefficient we only speak when we have only one variable polynomial. So I mean, although I have written that the leading coefficient is minus 5 here, or say 7 here, or the leading coefficient is 3 and the leading coefficient is 3 here, but still, I mean, let us just wipe out, right? We will discuss about the leading coefficient when we have a polynomial single variable only. So let us render this as invalid. We'll just let it be for this, right? Because this is a polynomial only in one variable z, so I can say that the leading coefficient is 1. So fine, I think now this is clear, right? So let me give you a question. So find degree and leading coefficient of say 3x cube minus 5 by x plus 7 by x power 10 plus 2. So you can pause the video and you can try this. Find the degree and leading coefficient of this. See, if you tell that the degree is 3, then I mean, I think you are wrong, because see, first of all, this is not a polynomial only, right? Because in polynomial, what did we say? The powers are natural numbers or the whole numbers, right? Powers can be 0, 1, 2 and so on. They can't be minus 10. The power of any term can't be minus 10, power of any term can't be minus 1 and so on. So actually the question itself is invalid, because first of all, it is not a polynomial. It is not a polynomial, right? And similarly, if I give you say 2x power 5 minus 3x power 2 by 3, then this is also not a polynomial. Not a polynomial, because the degree of any term should be a whole number in a polynomial. Degree, you can't have degree 2 by 3, you can't have degree minus 1, minus 10 and so on, right? So this is also not a polynomial. So I think now, I mean, we are very clear with what is a polynomial, what is a degree, right? We have also studied the classification of polynomials. So now let us study some operations on polynomials. As we have studied operations of numbers, right? We have added numbers, we have subtracted, we know how to multiply two natural numbers, we know how to divide natural numbers. Let us study these things for polynomials also. So I mean, the addition of polynomials and subtraction, these are basically the same itself, and there is no much difference in addition and subtraction of polynomials. So how do you add and subtract polynomials? You just add like terms, right? You just add or you just subtract like terms. You just add or subtract like terms. So let us just directly begin with question. Say if I give you add a polynomial 3x cube plus 2x plus 1 and say 5x cube plus 7x power 5 plus 3. So if you want to add this, then this is 3x cube plus 2x plus 1 plus 5x cube plus 7x power 5 plus 3, right? So this is the addition. So now see, the highest term is 7x power 5, and you need to add the like terms. So 5x cube and 3x cube, these are like terms, so it will become 8x cube, and 2x as it is, and 1 and 3 are like because they are constant, so 1 plus 3 is 4, right? So this is how you add polynomials, right? So let us do one more. Say subtract 3x square plus 5x minus 2 from 7x power 10 minus 1. So you need to subtract this polynomial from this polynomial. It means what? He is asking to find 7x power 10 minus 1 minus 3x square plus 5x minus 2, right? So subtract this one from this, right? So from this one you just subtract this polynomial. So you try to understand the meaning of this, right? Subtract this one from this means you need to do 7x power 10 minus 1 minus this polynomial. So this is 7x power 10, and see, you can write minus 3x square minus 5x and plus 2 minus 1, that will be 1. So only like terms are constants, that is minus 2 and minus 1. So it will become minus into minus plus 2 and minus 1, you will get plus 1, minus 3x square and minus 5x. So I mean, I think you know very well to add and subtract polynomials. So let me just tell you some facts. See, if degree of a polynomial f of x is say m, and say degree of polynomial g of x is n, then degree of f of x plus g of x, or say degree of f of x minus g of x, right, is at most maximum of m and n, Say here degree of this one is 3, degree of this one is 5. So if you add this, then degree will be 5, right? Here degree is 2, degree is 10. So if you subtract, the degree will be maximum of 2 and 10, that is 10, right? Sometimes degree may get cancelled. I mean, it might not be 10, because say here you have taken degree 5 polynomial. Let me give you an example. Say if I take a polynomial 3x power 5 plus 2x and another polynomial minus 3x power 5 plus 5x minus 2. So if you add this, then 3x power 5 will get cancelled and you will get only a linear polynomial. So it is not that always it is maximum of m and n, right? But it is at most maximum of m and n. It can't be more than maximum of m and n, right? So degree of f of x plus g of x or f of x minus g of x is at most the maximum of degrees of f of x and g of x. Fine. So now let us study multiplication of polynomials. Multiplication also, I mean, you are very good at, right? You know how to multiply two polynomials. So you multiply term by term, right? So if you have x square plus 3 x cube plus 3x plus 2 into say x minus 5, then you multiply each term with each term, right? So x cube you multiply with x, and then x you multiply with minus 5, right? So x cube into x you will get x power 4, and x cube into minus 5 you get minus 5x cube. Then you go 3x into x, that is 3x square. Then you go 3x into minus 5 minus 15x. Then you go 2 into x, then you go 2 into minus 5 minus 10. So multiplication means term by term multiplication, right? Each term should be multiplied with remaining all the terms, right? So I have also given you another idea of multiplication, that multiplication of different brackets, right? If you have any number of brackets, multiplication means what? Taking one term from each bracket and just writing it, right? So all possible terms you take from all the brackets and you just write the product. So that is multiplication, right? So you know how to multiply polynomials. But the thing which I want to say is degree of f of x into g of x is m plus n, right? If degree of if it is given that degree of f of x is m, right? If degree of f of x is equals to m and degree of g of x is equals to n, and if you multiply two polynomials, then the degree will become m plus n, right? If you have a cubic here and a linear here, you will get x power 4 term. So the degree of the polynomial is 4. Degree of the product of these two polynomial is 4, right? So if I multiply a polynomial with 5th degree and say with 7th degree, then the maximum degree of the product will be 12, right? So this is the point on degrees, right? So degree of fx into gx is m plus n, and in addition and subtraction the degree is at most maximum of m and n. It can't be more than maximum of m and n, but we can't guarantee that definitely it will be maximum of m and n, because you see that if I take 3x power 5 plus 2x and minus 3x power 5 plus 1, and if I add this I can't say the degree is 5, right? Because this is getting cancelled. So it is at most maximum of m and n. Fine. So the addition, subtraction and multiplication you already know very well. Now let us discuss the division of polynomials. So I mean, what I wanted to discuss in today's class was division itself, but to discuss division, all those things were need to be discussed previously, right? So let us just begin by doing a question. Say divide divide x cube plus 3x plus 2 by x minus 2. So you need to divide this polynomial by x minus 2, right? So yeah, let us do it. So it means x minus 2 is the divisor and x cube plus 3x plus 2 is the dividend, right? So this is called long division method, right? So now you see how I will divide. See, I have here x, here there is x cube. So what should I multiply with x to get x cube? I should multiply x square, right? So let us multiply with x square. So I'll multiply with x square. Now see, this entire x minus 2 is getting multiplied with x square. So you'll get x into x square as x cube, minus 2 into x square as minus 2x square. Now we'll subtract this from this thing from the above, right? So if we subtract, then this will become minus and this will become plus. So then you will see that x cube will get cancelled, and then you have plus 2x square here. You have plus 2x square, and then you have plus 3x and plus 2, right? Plus 3x as it is, 2 as it is, and you have plus 2x square. Fine. 2x square, 3x and 2. Now you see what you need to multiply with x to get 2x square. What you need to multiply with x to get 2x square, you can see that you need to multiply 2x, right? And this 2x you are multiplying with entire x minus 2 now, not only just x. So x into 2x, it will be 2x square, minus 2 into 2x, it will be minus 4x. So again subtract this, so it will be minus and plus, and then these two things will get cancelled. So you'll get plus 4x plus 3x, 7x and plus 2, right? So now what you need to multiply with x to get 7x? You need to multiply with plus 7. So you write plus 7x, and minus 2 into 7 is minus 14. So again subtract this, right? So these things will get cancelled and you will get 16. So now you see degree of divisor is 1, right? And degree of the remainder is 0. So now you can stop the process. Right? So here this is called the quotient. And this is called the remainder. This is called the divisor, and this is called the dividend. Right? So you divide the dividend by the divisor. You get some quotient and some remainder, right? Whenever you divide a dividend by a divisor, you get some quotient and some remainder, right? So if remainder is 0, then you can say that this divisor is a factor of this dividend, right? If remainder is 0, then divisor is the factor of the dividend, right? So also you notice that the degree of remainder, very important point which is to be noticed here, is that degree of remainder should always be less than degree of divisor. If you get the degree of remainder as less than degree of divisor, then you can stop your division process at that point, right? You can stop your division process at that point whenever you get the degree of remainder is less than the degree of divisor, right? So the thing that is the division algorithm which we studied in number 3, it is also valid for polynomials. That is nothing but dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder, right? So that is what is happening entirely, right? Because if you multiply x minus 2 with the quotient, you get all the things, and you subtract from this, you get a remainder as 16, right? So this x cube plus 3x plus 2, you can write it as x minus 2 into x square plus 2x plus 7 plus 16. So this is not x cube plus 3x plus 2 is equals to x minus 2 into x square plus 2x plus 7 plus 16, right? Yes. So I think this is very clear to you. right? So this is the division algorithm, that is dividend is divisor into quotient plus remainder. And you see that this is true for all x, this is true for all values of x, for all values of x. Now I mean this is a polynomial, right? So this expression, see, if I say that a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square, then this is true for all values of a and b, right? If you put any value of a and b, this will be true. If I write x plus 1 whole square is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1, this is true for all values of x. You take any value of x, you put in LHS, you put in RHS, you will get same. Similarly, this is also true for all values of x. Yeah, you can check for say x is equals to 2. Let us check x is equals to 2. What is LHS? It is 2 cube plus 3 into 2 plus 2, that is 16. And what is RHS? It is 2 minus 2, that is 0 plus 16, you will get 16. Let us check for x is equals to 1. So if you put x is equals to 1, LHS is 1 cube plus 3 into 1 plus 2, that is 1 plus 3, 4 plus 2, 6. And what is RHS? 1 minus 2 minus 1 into 1 plus 2 plus 7 plus 16. So this is 16 and this is 7. 16 minus 10, this is again 6. Right? So these two are equal. So if you put any x value here, right? If you put minus 5 by 2, if you put 33 by 25, then also this will be true. LHS and RHS will be equal. So this expression is true for all values of x. This is an important point. Yeah. So now we have studied what is division algorithm, and we have also learned how to divide two polynomials. So let us just study one more example to divide, right? So for example, say divide x power 4 minus 5x cubed plus 2 by say x square minus 3x plus 1, right? So x square minus 3x plus 1, you need to divide with x, you need to divide this by this. So x power 4 minus 5x cube plus 2. So now again, what do you need to multiply with x square to get x power 4? You multiply with x square, right? If you multiply x square with x square, you get x power 4. So now this entire thing is multiplied with x square. So you get x power 4 minus 3x into x square is minus 3x cube, right? And then plus x square plus x square. Now you subtract this, minus plus and minus. So this will get cancelled. And you see plus 3x cube minus 5x cube, you get minus 2x cube, right? Plus 3x cube. This is minus in the previous state. Now we are subtracting this, right? So this, if we subtract this, this will become minus will become plus and plus will become minus. So plus 3x cube minus 5x cube, it is minus 2x cube and minus x square, and this is plus 2. Now again you ask yourselves the question that what do you need to multiply x square to get minus 2x cube? So you will get the answer that you need to multiply with minus 2x. So then you get minus 2x cube, right? X square into minus 2x cube minus 3x minus 2x, you will get plus 6x square, and plus 1 into minus 2x, you get minus 2x. Now again you just subtract this, so this will become plus, this will become minus, this will become plus, and so plus 2x cube minus 2x cube gets cancelled, and you have minus 6x square minus x square, this is minus 7x square plus 2x plus 2. And again you ask yourselves the question, what do you need to multiply x square to get minus 7x square? So you will get the answer that you need to multiply with minus 7. So then you will get minus 7x square minus 3x into minus 7 is plus 21x and minus 7. Again this is plus, minus and plus, this gets cancelled. Minus 21x plus 2x is minus 19x, plus 7 plus 2 is plus 9. Now you see, if you ask yourselves again the question, what you need to multiply with x square to get minus 19x, you will get the answer that minus 19 by x. But will not go there, because see, already the degree of this expression is less than this, right? This degree is 2, degree of divisor is 2, and degree of the remainder here is 1. So you can stop here. So you can say that this is the remainder. So this is our remainder, right? And this is our quotient. This is our quotient. So if he is asking to divide, means he is asking about the quotient and the remainder. So again you can write that dividend is divisor into quotient plus remainder. So here the dividend is x power 4 minus 5x cube plus 2, divisor is x square minus 3x plus 1 into quotient. Quotient is x square minus 2x minus 7 plus remainder. Remainder is minus 19x plus 9, right? So this is true, and this is also true for all values of x, true for all x, right? True for all x. You can put any value of x, right? If you put x is equals to 1 and you check LHS and RHS, you'll get same. If you put x is equals to 2, you check LHS RHS, you'll get same, right? You can try to verify this, right? You put any value of x, you put minus 23 by 5 in LHS and in RHS, you'll get the same value. So this expression, this is true for all values, right? And when the remainder becomes 0, identically if you get the remainder as 0, then only you can say that this is a factor of this, right? So if on dividing f of x by x minus a, right, I am dividing with a linear factor, right? So here I have divided with a quadratic factor. Here in this example I have divided with a linear factor. So you can divide with any factor. So if I divide f of x by a linear factor x minus a, then remainder should be constant only, right? Because see, the remainder degrees should always be less than divisor degrees, so the remainder should be constant, and the remainder is 0. If the on dividing f of x by x minus a, the remainder is 0, then we say that x minus a is a factor of f of x, right? Similarly, if I say that if on dividing f of x by say x square minus say plus ax plus b, right, the remainder you get identically 0, the remainder is 0, right, then you can say that x square plus ax plus b is a factor of f of x, is a factor of f of x, right? So I think these things are very clear to you now. We have just introduced polynomials in this class, right? We have just discussed how to add, subtract, multiply and divide. So I mean, these things you might have studied in your school itself, so but still, for the sake of completion and for the sake of revision, we have just discussed all the things. We have covered each and every detail, how to classify the polynomials and all. So in the next session we will be going deep into this division, right? And we will study deep with the division algorithm. We are going to study what is the factor theorem, what is the remainder theorem and those things, right?